The skills of leadership are required at work, yes, but they're also required at home, with our families, in the community, in education. I call leadership the challenge to be something more than mediocre, a step up to the new challenge, the new opportunity. It was said of Abraham Lincoln that he was at his mother's bedside when she died. Her last words were, "Be somebody, Abe." And if that story is true, evidently he took it to heart and proceeded from that moment to become somebody. Now, when it comes to being a leader, if you really want to attract quality people, the key is to become a person of quality. Leadership. The ability to attract someone to the gifts and skills and opportunities you offer as an owner, as a manager, as a parent. I call leadership the great challenge of life. In a wide variety of areas, in science, in politics, industry, and education, sales. And here's a major one. Here's one of the greatest, the challenge of parenting. The greatest challenge of leadership is parenting. Not just getting our salespeople ready for the 21st century, not just getting our business colleagues ready for the 21st century, but getting our children ready for the 21st century. But now here's what's important in leadership. Refinement. All great leadership keeps working on itself until it becomes refined and effective. And here's some refinement. Learn to be strong but not rude. This is a refinement. These are the extra steps to become a powerful, capable leader with a wide range of reach. Some people mistake rudeness for strength. It's not even a good substitute. Next, be kind but not weak. We must not mistake weakness for kindness. Kindness isn't weak. Kindness is a certain type of strength. We must be kind enough to tell somebody the truth. We must be kind enough and considerate enough to lay it on the line. We must be kind enough to tell it like it is and not deal in delusion. Next, learn to be bold but not a bully. It does take boldness to win the day, to build your ambitions. You've got to stride out front. You've got to be willing to take the first arrow, to take the first problem, first trouble. I think we'd all agree that farming is not an easy job. We must face the weeds and the rains and the bugs straight on. It's not an easy task. But if you want any value at harvest, you've got to press, you've got to be bold, you've got to seize it. Here's the next one. You've got to be humble but not timid. You can't get to the high life by being timid. Some people mistake timidity for humility. But humility is a virtue. Timidity is a disease. It's an affliction. Now it can be cured, but it is a problem. Humility is almost a godlike word. A sense of awe, a sense of wonder, an awareness of the human soul and spirit. Something unique about the human drama versus the rest of life. Humility is a grasp of the distance between us and the stars, yet having the feeling that we're part of the stars. Here's a good refinement. Be proud but not arrogant. It takes pride to win the day. It takes pride to build your ambition. It takes pride in community. It takes pride in cause, accomplishment. But the key is to be proud without being arrogant. Do you know the worst kind of arrogance? Arrogance from ignorance. It's hardly tolerable. And it can be expensive. A young newlywed couple got some money from their parents to buy a new set of patio furniture. Young couple goes to the store and picks out the perfect set. They go to the checkout, and the clerk scans the UPC code. The couple says, "Hey, there's 4 chairs in this container. You're only charging us for 1. Clerk says, "I know my job," she says arrogantly. "I stepped up here and scanned the container. Don't you think I know what I'm doing?" Well, the young couple tried to explain that she was wrong. Clerk wouldn't listen. Young couple got 4 beautiful patio chairs for the price of 1. Now, do you think the store clerk will alter her arrogant attitude when it's time to close out her cash drawer? Probably so. Ignorant arrogance is the worst kind. If a guy's smart and arrogant, we can tolerate that. But if a guy's dumb and arrogant, that's just too much to take. And here's the next one, humor without folly. That's important for a leader. Humor, yes, but folly, no. In leadership, we learn it's okay to be witty but not silly. Witty but not silly. Fun but not foolish. Next, deal in realities. Deal in truth. Save yourself the agony. Just accept it like it is. Life is unique. Accept it as unique. Some people call it tragic, but I'd like to think it's unique. The whole drama of life is unique. Fascinating. Life is unique. Leadership is unique. The skills that work well for one leader may not work at all for another. But the fundamental skills of leadership can probably be massaged a bit to work well for just about everyone. At work, in the community, at home. Many people assume that the skills involved in having a good, solid family come naturally. To who? They don't teach how to raise a family 101, how to raise a family 102 in school. They don't. They should, but they don't. People tend to assume that good leaders in the community are automatically good leaders at home. So what are some of the skills involved in raising a good, solid family? Communication is number one. Every member of the family has to know that they have a voice and that their voice is respected. Every person in the family has to know that their opinions count, that the family is a democracy, that if there's an issue, they can put it on the table. And that's what's so important about the dinner table. It's not just a place for the evening meal. No, it's a place to bring out all the issues, to talk about the day, to share experiences, to ask questions and hope for answers around the dinner table. Now, in today's society, there are a lot of broken homes, divorced parents that share custody of the kids. How do you raise good, solid kids when they're split between two households? Make sure the philosophies in both households are compatible. Now, obviously, the reigning philosophies are different. That's why the home is split. But for you parents facing this kind of challenge, put away the personal differences and develop one set of philosophies by which to raise the kids. Why? Because if you don't, the kids will be a mess. One set of rules for one house, another set of rules for another house. No, you can't do this, because if you do, the kids will grow up confused as to what's right and what's wrong. So regardless of how your household is set up, make sure that communication plays a vital role. Everybody needs a voice. Everybody has to be heard. And everybody has to acknowledge that everyone else's voice counts. That's number one, communication. Here's number two in raising a solid family, activity. There was a study done a while back that surveyed a large group of happy families, and here's what they all had in common. First thing, they made a regular habit out of eating dinner together as often as possible. Second thing, they were all involved in one physical activity or another, walks, tennis, swimming, basketball. They planned family physical fitness activities. Third thing, they made a regular habit of spending Sunday mornings in church. And the fourth common denominator between successful families, the parents scheduled quality, personal time together. Alone. So why would the parents' personal time affect the entire family so dramatically? Because when the parents are happy with each other and invest in each other, they present a unified front to the kids. Personal time together, it's important. So the second key in raising a solid family is activity. Outside activity, planned activity, bike rides in the summer, ski trips in the winter, boating, fishing, trips to the zoo, Frisbee in the yard, baseball, softball, basketball, whatever interests your family has, make sure you take time to schedule these kinds of activities, outside activities, on a regular basis. And then schedule inside activities, doing things together at home on a regular basis. If you've got a young family that's gotten used to plopping down in front of the TV during every spare moment, start weaning them off this activity one day a week. Plan one evening a week without the TV. And during this time, read together, work on household projects together, go through the family picture albums and videos together, plan vacations together. Start a family journal. Write in it once a week what all you did, where all you went, and what all you saw, and how all you felt. Family journals are a wonderful way of tracking the growth of your family and the growth of your kids. When you look back on these family journals, you'll find they're one of the greatest treasures you have. And here's another fun way to log the history of your family. A friend of mine tells that when she was a kid, one of 3, in a family where sibling rivalry was at its height, her parents used to hide a tape recorder under the dining room table every so often and tape the family dinner conversation. Wow, those kids get together now and have a great time with this stuff. They're grown now, but when they look back and listen to their upbringing, it has a way of rekindling the family bond. And here's the third most important key to raising a strong, healthy family with bonds that'll last a lifetime: a spiritual connection. Now, I know that your beliefs are your own, and whether or not you call the power behind our existence God or not is entirely up to you. But whatever your faith is, whatever your beliefs are, share them with your family, share them with your children. Make time frequently to discuss the spiritual aspects of life. Give your kids the opportunity of choice by giving them a basis of knowledge. There are all sorts of wonderful programs at churches these days, aside from the Sunday sermon that's so valuable. There's Sunday school for kids, vacation, Bible school, camping trips, family outings, weekly Bible studies, picnics, plays, musicals, concerts. If you're searching for a new church home, visit several churches to find out which one is right for you. There are many things you can do with your family to build strong bonds and healthy relationships. The tips I gave you are just a few. You may have other ideas, and that's great. Just remember that the more energy you expend on your family, the more time and attention you give to your family, the more love and attention you'll receive in return. Your children will love you unconditionally when they're young. Just make sure that when they grow up and know better, that you've given them a reason to continue their unconditional love. So be together with your family. Go to church together, spend time together, talk with each other. Get to know your children, who they are, what their dreams are, their visions of the future. Get to know your children. They're not just miniature versions of you. They're special little people with their own personalities. The greatest satisfaction after a productive day's work, the greatest satisfaction is coming home to a harmonious family. Balance, it's part of lifestyle. It's where ambition can lead you, if you deem it part of your course. The economics of ambition, the rewards of ambition, the final result of working hard, burning the midnight oil, doing it until, being disciplined to stay on track, day after day, week after week, month after month. What's all this working hard going to get you? Better put, what's all this working smart going to get you? As you've followed this program on the power of ambition, as you've learned to set your goals and develop a game plan, and use the tools of reflection and discipline in putting your life together, as you're building your ambition to reach your destination, surely, somewhere in your list you wrote down wealth. I'm sure you didn't write down that you wanted to earn enough to just get by. No, you probably wrote down that you wanted to have a certain amount of money. To some it may be to earn $50,000 a year. To others it may be to earn $500,000 a year. Or $1 million. It doesn't matter. You probably wrote down what you believe that you're capable of earning if you really exercised your potential. What you want to earn the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, in your lifetime. And that figure probably would be viewed by the majority as being rich, getting the most from your ambition, being rewarded by your ambition. Now, I'm not talking about the incredible feelings of accomplishment. I'm talking about the tangible rewards of ambition. How wealthy should you be in knowledge and in spirit? As wealthy as you possibly can be. How rich should you be? In dollars and investments. As rich as you possibly can be. Now, I'm not talking greedy. I'm talking reward for success at the service of others, not at the expense of others. Is it okay to strive for success? Is it okay to strive to become rich and wealthy? Many people struggle with the concept of being rich. Rich people lack morals. Rich people are cutthroat. Rich people don't care. No, that's not true. Now, some rich people lack morals, are cutthroat, and don't care. But a lot of poor people have those same traits. So corruption is not inherent with being rich or wealthy. Corruption is inherent with gaining at the expense of others. Corruption is evil. But wealth is not evil. Wealth says discover your own talents and use them and take care of them, so your own talents and skills and gifts can take care of you. I firmly believe, the more that I ponder this topic of wealth, I firmly believe that it's our natural destiny to grow, to succeed, to prosper, and to find happiness. So here's what I've learned to do to temper the words rich and wealthy. I call it becoming financially independent. That's a little easier than rich or wealthy. Because some people have this idea that to be wealthy or rich, you've got to misuse people. You've got to tell lies. You've got to throw away values. If being rich bothers you, don't pursue riches. Some people even tell me that the Bible says it's hard for a rich man to reach heaven. I say, well, that language suits me. It didn't say it was impossible. It just said it was hard. I don't mind a little hard stuff. I'm also reminded that the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. But where does it say that in order to be meek you have to be poor? No, the Bible doesn't say you have to be poor. That's just an interpretation. A poor rationalization that lazy people use. People who need to justify their lack of progress. People who will give up in the midst of any adversity. People who don't even try.